Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old as gold, but these Jefferson Nickel 5-cent coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Number 1. Today's video is going to take you deep into the world of American coinage, where a seemingly ordinary 5-cent coin, the 1971 D Jefferson Nickel, hides a shocking secret that could make it worth a small fortune. Now, we're not talking about a centuries-old relic or a gold coin. We're talking about a nickel, a coin you've probably seen dozens of times. But here's the twist: not all nickels are created equal. And today, we're zeroing in on the 1971 D Jefferson Nickel from the Denver Mint, a coin that has become the center of collector buzz thanks to a few fascinating features that turn it from pocket change into a true collector's prize. So grab your coin jars, because by the end of this video, you might just be inspired to go hunting for a tiny piece of American history that could be sitting unnoticed in your home. Let's get into the mystery and value behind this incredible coin. To start, Jefferson Nickel has been a cornerstone of American currency since 1938, featuring the third U.S. president, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse, and his home Monticello on the reverse. But in 1971, the Denver Mint struck millions of these nickels, so why would one stand out? Well, that's where the magic lies. While most 1971 D Jefferson nickels are common and hold only face value, a few have surfaced that display rare mint errors, mistakes that occurred during production that make these coins incredibly desirable to collectors. Let's talk about these key errors and features. First, there's the off-center strike, where the design is not perfectly aligned on the coin blank. This can range from a slight shift to dramatic misalignments that show only part of Jefferson's face. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin. Then there's the double die obverse, where the design appears to be stamped twice, leading to visible doubling in the text. Look closely at the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." If the letters appear shadowed or doubled, you may have one of these rare errors. Another notable rarity is the full steps variety on the reverse side. At the base of Monticello, there are steps that, when struck crisply, appear in full detail. A Jefferson nickel with complete, sharp steps, known as full steps or FS, is significantly more valuable, especially from the 1971 D batch, where well-struck examples are harder to come by. And finally, there's the ultra-rare clipped planchet error, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a misfeed during the minting process. This kind of physical defect makes the coin a true one-of-a-kind and highly collectible. And now, you might be wondering, how do you know if your nickel has any of these features? Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and examine the coin carefully. Pay close attention to the steps under Monticello. Can you count 5 or 6 full steps? The clarity of the strike. Is Jefferson's portrait sharp, or does it show doubling? The edges of the coin. Any unusual curves or clipped corners? The alignment. Does it look like the design is off-center? If you spot any of these features, especially more than one, you may have something very special on your hands. Now, collectors and dealers alike have been keeping an eye on this coin in recent years. While most sales fall within the modest range, a few high-grade examples with multiple errors have made headlines in private sales and coin shows. In fact, in one notable case, a pristine 1971 D Jefferson nickel featuring both a full step strike and a rare off-center error, graded by a top-tier service, reportedly sold for a jaw-dropping $83,000. That's right. A 5-cent coin, the kind you might ignore at the bottom of your junk drawer, can actually be worth $83,000 if it has the right combination of errors and condition. So before you spend that nickel, take a good look. It might just be hiding something remarkable. If you found a 1971 D Jefferson nickel with any of these features, or you think you've come across something unique in your collection, drop us a comment below. We'd love to hear your story or help you identify your coin. And don't forget to share this video with your fellow collectors. You never know who might be sitting on a treasure without even knowing it. Thanks for watching, and if you love rare coins, valuable finds, and the thrill of the hunt, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss another numismatic discovery. Until next time, keep looking closely, because history might be hiding in your pocket. Number 2. We're spotlighting a coin that could be sitting unnoticed in your pocket, coin jar, or even between couch cushions. It's a coin so familiar, you'd never guess that a rare version of it is sold for the price of a luxury car. We're talking about the United States 2000 Jefferson Nickel, a 5-cent piece that may seem ordinary at first glance, until you discover its hidden secrets. Now, if you're someone who thinks valuable coins only come from the 1800s or need to be made of silver or gold, think again. Some of the most stunning finds in the world of coin collecting come from recent decades. And the 2000p nickel is a perfect example. Let's dive into the fascinating details behind this humble coin, what makes it so special, and how you might just be holding onto something truly valuable without realizing it at first. A little background. The 2000p Jefferson Nickel was minted in Philadelphia, one of the most active U.S. mints. Millions of these nickels were struck that year, and for the most part, they were just like any other nickel, common, simple, and meant for everyday use. But as any seasoned coin collector will tell you, what really matters isn't just how many were made, it's how they were made. Because every once in a while, something goes wrong at the mint. And when it does, the result can be a coin that's incredibly rare and highly desirable. So, what makes a 2000p Jefferson Nickel worth more than face value? Let's talk errors and features. Point 1 of the most sought-after varieties is the full steps designation. On the reverse side of the nickel is Jefferson's famous home, Monticello. At the base of the building are a series of steps, 5 or 6, depending on how you count. A regular strike often leaves these steps mushy or incomplete. But a coin with a sharp, complete rendering of those steps is called a full steps or FS nickel. These are rare, especially in high grades, and their value can skyrocket, but the real jackpot comes from major mint errors. Point 1 such error found on the 2000p nickel is the double die obverse, where the text on the front of the coin, particularly "In God We Trust, Liberty," or the date, appears to be doubled or shadowed. This happens when the die shifts slightly between strikes, creating a coin that essentially has a blurry twin image. These are clear indicators of a minting mistake, and collectors go wild for them. Another rare error reported on 2000p nickels is the off-center strike, where the entire image is shifted too far to one side, leaving part of the coin blank. The more extreme the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the date and mint mark are still fully visible. And let's not forget the elusive clipped planchet error. That's when the coin blank is punched too close to the edge of the metal sheet, resulting in a curved slice missing from the edge of the coin. These errors are immediately noticeable and highly collectible. And now, how can you check if your nickel is valuable? Start by inspecting both sides under good lighting. A magnifying glass or coin loop is a must-have. Look for doubled letters on the obverse side, clear, sharp full steps on the Monticello off-center designs, or blank areas, any unusual curves or missing parts on the rim. And remember, condition matters. Coins that have been handled, scratched, or damaged are worth less, even if they have rare errors. But a mint-state coin, especially one professionally graded and slabbed, can bring in serious offers. Speaking of offers, let's talk market value. Over the years, collectors have paid hundreds and even thousands of dollars for high-grade 2000p nickels with known errors. Online auctions, coin shows, and private sales have all shown that demand for these coins is real and growing. Rarity plus condition equals value. Simple math, right? In fact, one particularly stunning 2000p Jefferson Nickel, featuring a full steps reverse and an extremely rare double die obverse, was authenticated by a major grading company and eventually sold for an astonishing $48,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 5-cent coin. Sold for $48,000. So now the question is, could you be holding one of these valuable nickels? The only way to know is to start checking. Go through your change. Dig through those old jars. Ask your relatives if they've kept any coins from around the year 2000. You never know what might be waiting to be discovered, and if you find a 2000p nickel that looks promising, maybe it has a strange marking, or you spot doubling or full steps, leave a comment below. Share what you found. We love hearing from fellow collectors, and we might even feature your coin in a future video. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to learn more about hidden gems in your pocket change, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another treasure hunting tip. Thanks for watching, and remember, always look twice at your change. Because sometimes, 5 cents can be worth a fortune. Number 3. We're taking a closer look at a modern coin that might just be sitting in your drawer, purse, or car cup holder, and it could be worth thousands. Let's talk about the 2004D Jefferson Nickel, a seemingly ordinary 5-cent coin that has turned heads in the coin collecting world due to some wild errors and rare features that have pushed its value into the stratosphere. And now, this isn't your average nickel. This is part of the Westward Journey series, a special set of nickels released to celebrate the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition. The 2004 coins brought new reverse designs, historical symbolism, and, as it turns out, some surprising and valuable minting mistakes. So grab your coin jars, check your change, and listen closely. Because what we're about to share might just help you find a coin that's worth more than you ever imagined. Let's break it down. In 2004, the Denver Mint released two different Jefferson Nickel designs, the piece metal and the keelboat. Both versions honored different parts of the Lewis and Clark journey. These weren't limited editions, millions were produced. But as we've learned time and time again in the world of coins, high mintage doesn't always mean low value. Here's where it gets interesting. Some of these 2004 D nickels were struck with serious minting errors, and those are the ones collectors are hunting for today. One of the most notorious errors on the 2004 D is the double die reverse, where parts of the design, like the words United States of America or E pluribus unum, appear doubled. This kind of doubling happens when the coin die accidentally shifts between strikes, causing overlapping images. If you spot this on your coin, you could be holding something extremely rare. Another valuable mistake is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not correctly aligned during minting, and part of the design is pushed off to one side. The result? A dramatically misaligned image with a blank crescent of metal on the edge. The more off-center it is, while still showing the date and mint mark, the higher the value climbs. Then there's the die crack error, where a small crack develops in the die used to strike the coin. This creates raised lines or bumps on the finished coin. While minor cracks are fairly common, large, dramatic die breaks can make a coin far more collectible. Don't forget about the clipped planchet error, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a miscut blank. These errors are easy to spot, and collectors love them because no two are exactly alike. And here's something else. Coins with these rare errors that are also in mint state condition, meaning they're clean, uncirculated, and still have that sharp, glossy finish, are even more valuable. That's why many collectors send their coins to professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC. A grade of MS65 or higher on a coin with an error can make all the difference in its market value. So how do you know if your 2004 D Jefferson Nickel is rare? First, examine the front and back under good lighting, ideally with a magnifier or jeweler's loupe. Check for any doubling in the letters or number, signs of misalignment or off-center strikes, odd bumps, cracks, or raised lines that might be die breaks, a clipped edge or unusual shape. Next, consider the condition. The less wear and tear, the better. Coins pulled from circulation can still be valuable, but a coin in uncirculated or near uncirculated condition with a visible error? That's where the big money is. And now, let's talk real numbers. Over the past few years, rare 2004 D nickels with verified errors have been making waves in online auctions and collector communities. Some examples have sold for hundreds. Others, especially those with extreme doubling or clean off-center strikes, have sold for thousands. But then there are the exceptional finds. And one specific 2004 D Jefferson Nickel, featuring a full double die reverse combined with a dramatic strike error, verified and graded in mint state condition, was sold at a collector auction for a jaw-dropping $40,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 5-cent coin, released just a couple decades ago, sold for $40,000. And now, what if one of those coins is sitting in your change jar right now? Would you recognize it? That's the beauty of coin collecting. It's not just about age or metal. It's about uniqueness, condition, and history. Even modern coins can turn out to be treasures in disguise. If you've got a 2004 D Jefferson Nickel, it's time to take a second look. And if you find something strange, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear what you've found. Maybe it's a die crack, maybe it's off-center, maybe you think it's nothing, but the community here is full of passionate collectors who can help you out. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a chance to discover hidden value in plain sight. Keep searching, keep learning, and who knows? Your next amazing coin find might be just a nickel away.